Good evening, I'm Professor Michael and you're watching Kini News, the show that brings you today's biggest stories. The MCO has saved many lives by curbing the spread of COVID-19. However, the economic impact has been catastrophic. Now the government has decided to do something about it. After weeks under the movement control order, Malaysia is looking to revitalise its battered economy by reopening the majority of businesses starting May 4th. In a special Labour Day speech this morning, Prime Minister Muhyiddin Yassin revealed that since the MCO started, Malaysia has been bleeding billions of ringgit.
Saya nak sebutkan di sini bahawa negara kita rugi sekitar 2.4 bilion setiap hari sepanjang tempoh PKP. Jumlah kerugian setakat ini dianggarkan sekitar 63 bilion ringgit. Dan jika PKP berterusan untuk tempoh sebulan lagi, negara kita akan kerugian 35 bilion ringgit lagi, menjadikan jumlah keseluruhan kerugian kita 98 bilion ringgit, hampir 100 bilion ringgit.
Muhyiddin said the permission to reopen activities were based on strict rules and regulations as well as standard operating procedures.
4 Mei 2020, hampir semua sektor ekonomi dan aktiviti perniagaan akan dibenarkan beroperasi tertakluk kepada syarat-syarat dan SOP yang ditetapkan oleh pihak berkuasa. Saya katakan hampir semua kerana masih ada beberapa kategori industri dan perniagaan yang tidak diizinkan untuk beroperasi. Dan ini adalah perniagaan atau aktiviti yang melibatkan perhimpunan ramai.
Activities that will not be permitted include religious activities and prayers involving gatherings, including at places of worship, open houses, as well as indoor and stadium sports. Muhyiddin added that all schools, including institutions of higher learning, will also not be allowed to reopen for the time being. Overall, now Malaysians will have more things to do.
Aktiviti sukan outdoor yang tidak melibatkan sentuhan badan dan perhimpunan ramai dibenarkan. Jadi, mulai 4 hari bulan, saudara-saudari boleh bermain badminton atau tenis di luar tanpa penonton, jogging, kayuhan basikal, golf.
Malaysia today reported more new cases than recoveries. With Malaysia set to allow most businesses to begin operating next week, new cases are still being detected in the country, with Health Ministry Director General Dr. Norisham Abdullah reporting 69 new cases on Friday, with 12 of those being imported cases, while 57 were local transmissions. Meanwhile, 39 patients recovered and were discharged. This puts the number of active cases at 1,758. One new death was also reported, bringing the death toll to 103. During the daily press conference today, Dr. Norisham also addressed concerns surrounding the reopening of businesses on May 4th.
But now the response is we have to look into strike the right balance between life and livelihood. And we have done MCO 1, 2 and 3. And MCO 1, 2 and 3 have helped us to flatten the curve. So the intention and objective of MCO is basically to flatten the curve. And we have achieved that. Now is the next phase now. Next phase is that to manage the virus in our community. And with this reason why we make sure that every sector will have to comply with the SOP. And we sat down with every sector and we advise them in terms of to come up with the SOP. So SOP is very clear and most important is to comply with the SOP.
Many of the EMCO locations are packed with foreign workers. And today the Immigration Department, aided by several other agencies, swooped in. A massive raid on undocumented migrants at Masjid India, which is under the Enhanced Movement Control Order, was carried out by hundreds of Immigration Department officers and personnel today. The Immigration Department was assisted by around 150 members of the police, armed forces, health ministry and civil defence force in the operation that began at 9 a.m. Checks by Malaysia Kini found that among the buildings raided are the Malayan Mansion, Menara Plaza City 1 and other buildings along Jalan Masjid India. When contacted, an inhabitant of the Malayan Mansion said that the Immigration Department is checking documentation of each housing unit. The person said many foreigners were asked to come down from the building for not having any valid documentation. As of 4 p.m. this afternoon, the raid was still ongoing and no statement was issued by immigration authorities at the time of reporting. The MCO has had a massive impact on many people, industries and services, and for Furry Friends Farm, which cares for hundreds of animals, they're feeling the pinch too.
Slowly, Ken. This is Mr. Ashton, yeah. He's a local boy. This is LG, stands for little girl. LG, oh, she likes you.
Remember all their names.
Well, they're family. Your mum can remember your name, isn't it?
Situated on a 2-acre land in Kundang, Furry Friends Farm is home to more than 500 rescue animals. There are 370 dogs, 100 cats, dozens of chickens, ducks, geese, and even a few goats here. Founded by animal activist Sabrina Yip, who passed away in 2012, the sanctuary is currently under the management of Maiza Nordin and Georgie Gisborne. Furry Friends Farm used to receive regular support from local and international volunteers before the MCO. However, since the enforcement of MCO on March 18, Georgie and 2 full-time workers are currently the only ones taking care of these animals.
It's a backbone of the sanctuary. They give the fine touch, communicating with animals, because to us it's not only about cleaning and feeding, it's about the closeness. This is not factory work, it's not product, this is life.
You have to learn to spot when somebody's not very well, because if you don't spot a few weeks later, they may die if you don't spot them being a bit quiet or something like that. So it's important to know them very well. If they're losing weight or they're not looking very well, they have a blood test. And this is Bob, his blood test showed up high kidney levels, which means he's got kidney disease. When they get sick like that, and I give fluids every day, I've got 2 cats to do also.
The shelter needs about 50,000 ringgit every month to sustain its operation. This includes a 25,000 ringgit bill on food, 10,000 ringgit on medical bills, and other expenses for workers' salary and utilities.
It's not a small amount. So to be able to run efficiently, we have to have that money, rain or shine.
With the COVID-19 pandemic, the registration of societies has banned all events that entail large gatherings until the end of June. The Ministry of Health also discourages any such event for the next 6 to 12 months. This remains a challenge to FFF, as ground events are one of the ways for them to get funds.
At the moment, we are okay now. If this has to continue, we do not know what is going to happen down the road. My current regulars for the past 3 months, they are still donating. There are people who are close to us, calling us, "Are you okay?" Okay, they come and help us. But we cannot go out any events. Maybe we lose like one event, we can make around 15,000. We lose that money.
The sanctuary has also rolled out new initiatives to raise funds. Since April, it has been selling homemade no-rinse hand sanitizers through their social media accounts. Other online donation drives are also in the pipeline.
We have been in this industry, 14 years, and I think this is the 3rd or 4th time where the economy has been affected. We have ride it through, and I think we can do it. I just have to always stay positive.
And for animal activists like Maiza and Georgie, the smiles on these furry kids is what keeps them going no matter what the future holds. Vivian Yap reporting for KiniTV.
Coming up next, we spoke to Deputy Minister Edmund Santara about the hate the Rohingya community has been receiving. Don't go anywhere. We spoke to Deputy Federal Territories Minister Edmund Santara this week. One of the things we spoke about was the hate the Rohingya community has been getting online and how the government plans to address it. Deputy Federal Territories Minister Edmund Santara has claimed that hate speech and xenophobia messages targeting the Rohingya community on social media originated from netizens linked to a political party. Santara is chairing the Federal Territories Crisis Management Centre, looking into the 17,000 Rohingyas under the Enhanced Movement Control Order in Selayang. This is what he said during an interview with Malaysia Kini and KiniTV on Thursday.
I have run through all the social media and so on. I just see that it's being sponsored by groups that are politically motivated. I really don't see it as people are getting angry and so on. The people are just getting, some people are getting influenced. Like me, like when I get a video and so on, I would cross-check the source, you know. So if people do fact checking, all right, so you'll be able to understand whether it's fake news or not. But a lot of Malaysians who would believe whatever they see in social media and they think is correct, and then people are now under MCO and also under MCO, people are at home, they're very stressed. So when they are very stressed and when they see these foreigners are able to go and do open up businesses and so on, it's very unfair for Malaysians. The Malaysians are following the instruction and also the order to stay at home. Whereas these foreigners are walking around, you could see the number of foreigners being caught and being brought to court are quite high. Like in Kuala Lumpur, we found that 50% of those who are being caught and charged in the court are foreigners. 50%. That's a huge number for a small population compared to the Malaysians that we have. Okay, so this is where the challenges comes in. If they are not allowed to work and they are not being paid, and UNCHR doesn't help them in any way in terms of funding, you know. Yeah. So then the question falls back to the government of Malaysia, whether can we afford to keep them and pay them and feed them like how we are doing right now. The answer is it'll be a challenging task. The next would be looking at various kementerian, including Kementerian Pertanian and also Peladangan and so on, both kementerian or departments, Agri-Tani, to come and study the requirements in the estates, whereby we have a big requirement in the estates, lack of labourers and so on, instead of bringing new ones from Bangladesh and so on. So perhaps KDN could explore how Rohingyas given special visa to work there. So that is not my ministry. This is something that KDN and the Agriculture Ministry to sit together and also with advice of HR, give an input, and I think that'll be great, because in the estates you notice there are free housing, there are, you know, they have all the amenities, electricity, water, they got schools, and in fact we can have Tafiz schools and so on, and then good facilities, sports for field and so on. So if you ask me, that will be a good way that they could actually have peaceful living, quality of life, and at the same time their children can go to school.
And that is all from me today. For more stories, you can go to KiniTV.com. You can also follow us on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube and Facebook for the latest news updates. I'll see you again next week, same time, same place. I'm Prasad Michael. Thank you for watching.